Don't know, do you remember, well, I'm remembering to myself, playgrounds. Well, at least in the United Kingdom we call them playgrounds. I'm remembering, of course, the idea of being at primary school. I think Americans might call it kindergarten. I remember when you start to have your first girlfriends at school. And, well, they're not quite girlfriends in the adult sense, of course. It's more of a friendship that's struck up between two individuals. And I think the adults round about create a sort of, I don't know, the beginnings of the labelling of appropriate interaction between the two individuals, which is really good. And it's been included in all forms and areas of society and culture. Either way, playground sort of mentality. So, and I was remembering, actually, my first sort of girlfriend in primary school, many, many, many years ago. Her name was Donna. And she was very pretty and petite. And she was like one of the lead girls, I remember, when they were playing skipping ropes and things of that type. But she was quite capricious. Huh? Girls often are capricious, I find. The feminine are often extraordinarily capricious. They change their minds from one moment to the other, I find. One day they can be, so happy and interactive, and the next day they can be absolutely unruly and very, very difficult to understand the reason why they behave the way they behave. Now, of course, I'm kind of remembering that because I remember those sort of startling images of that taking place. And I'm sure most blokes do, actually, really. The feminine is sort of difficult, I think. Not for men to cope with, of course. I mean, it's not that difficult to cope with because, there is procreation. Men and women get married. They have children. They have longitudinal, long-lasting, loving relationships, etc. But I have found that women can be capricious, changeable, fickle. I do think that. And it's if when they want something, I find, I don't know, they may want you to, I don't know, take out your garbage, something like that. And you may say, well, perhaps I'll do it later. And then they go crazy. They start shouting, they start screaming sometimes, they get over, emotionally excited, and and you have to sit down and kind of discuss with them what's wrong. And then they kind of unleash this torrent of sort of, I don't know, it's irrelevant sort of musing that's been kind of bubbling beneath the surface with regards to what they think the issues are. And it has no relevance whatsoever to the actual situation at all. Huh? I think so. I don't know. But that's girls for you. That's the feminine I've found. They sort of, they talk a lot, which is cool. I mean, they're lovely, of course. Really cool. I'm sure, the way I'm addressing this video is humorous. It's not serious, really, actually. Because I think most men find the feminine sort of amusing and sort of cheeky and sort of playfully irritating, really. I mean, there's no sort of outrageously negative reaction to it. It's just a phenomena that I think is sort of attached, across the board, really, with regards to the feminine. I know it's a crushing cliche. I know that, huh? But and people say you shouldn't really include cliches in a discussion. But, cliches are there for a reason. And I think sometimes they do have a resonance with regards to, well, reality, to be perfectly frank with you. So, I don't know. It occurs to me that the feminine, the chatty, the fickle, the changeable, the capricious, the sort of, I don't know, they get so excited, so sort of excitable and It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but when you listen to it sometimes, I find it very difficult to kind of get my hands around to be able to really understand it in its totality when sometimes it's very alien or very unlike the actual real situation of it. I think so. I think that's fair, really. So, yeah. Oops. Bye bye. Ta ta.